The quantum anomaly appeared without warning. At first, it was just another blip on the arrays at SETI's primary listening post in New Mexico, but within hours, every major observatory on Earth had confirmed it. Something out there was trying to get humanity's attention. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the United Earth Council, her hand steady despite the weight of the moment. The holographic display behind her showed a pattern that had kept the world's brightest minds sleepless for weeks. The signal isn't just complex, she explained, her voice carrying across the chamber. It's adaptive. It responds to our attempts to decode it. Whatever sent, this isn't just intelligent. It's actively watching us. The council chamber erupted in murmurs. Admiral James Torres, a veteran of the Mars Wars and current head of the United Earth Fleet, leaned forward. Are you suggesting this is first contact, Doctor? Sarah shook her head, her dark eyes reflecting the shimmer of the holographic display. No, Admiral. I'm suggesting this is an invitation, or perhaps a test. The signal had first appeared 3 months ago, manifesting as a quantum signature that defied known physics. It seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously, and most remarkably, it appeared to react differently based on who was observing it and how they attempted to decode it. The pattern shifts, Sarah continued, bringing up a new display. When our AI systems analyze it, it becomes more complex. When human observers study it, it simplifies. It's as if it's calibrating itself to our level of understanding, but also challenging us to push further. Dr. Marcus Patel, head of the Quantum Computing Division, stepped forward. We've managed to decode one consistent message within the signal. It repeats in various forms, but the meaning is clear. Only the worthy may answer. Only the brave may seek. The chamber fell silent. Council President Elena Rodriguez studied the shifting patterns on the display. And you believe we should respond? I believe we already are, Sarah replied. Every observation we make, every attempt to understand, it's all being monitored. The real question is, do we accept the challenge it presents? Admiral Torres's expression hardened. What exactly is this challenge, Doctor? Sarah activated another display, showing a series of coordinates embedded within the signal's quantum structure. It's pointing us to something. A location approximately 47 light-years from Earth, in a system we've never fully mapped. But here's the fascinating part. The coordinates aren't static. They're changing, creating a path, like breadcrumbs leading into the unknown. A trap. Someone suggested from the council seats. Possibly, Sarah admitted. But consider this. In all our years of searching the stars, we've never encountered anything like this. The signal's complexity suggests a civilization far beyond our current technological level. If they meant us harm, why create such an elaborate invitation? President Rodriguez stood, her presence commanding attention. What exactly are you proposing, Dr. Chen? The new quantum drive is ready, Sarah replied. The Helios project. It was theoretical until now, but this signal, it's as if whoever sent it knew exactly what we'd need to reach them. The quantum signatures in the signal match our drive's theoretical principles perfectly, too perfectly to be coincidence. Admiral Torres exchanged glances with the military council members. The Helios project wasn't meant to be operational for another 2 years. We've had help, Sarah said simply, gesturing to the signal display. Every time we hit a roadblock in the drive's development, the signal would shift, showing us something new. It's been guiding us, teaching us, but always making us work for the answers, never simply giving them away. President Rodriguez studied the assembled council members' faces before turning back to Sarah. And you believe we're ready for whatever awaits us out there? Sarah's response was measured but firm. Madam President, I believe that's exactly what's being tested. The signal isn't just measuring our technological capability. It's gauging our courage, our determination, our willingness to face the unknown. In all of human history, we've never backed down from a challenge that could advance our understanding of the universe. The council chamber buzzed with discussion. The implications were staggering. Not only potential first contact, but a deliberate test from an advanced civilization. Humanity's response would likely determine their place in a much larger cosmic community. Admiral Torres stood. If we do this, we need to be prepared for anything. The Helios is a scientific vessel, but it needs to be able to defend itself. Agreed, Sarah nodded. But I believe our greatest defense will be the same thing that brought us this opportunity. Our willingness to learn, to understand, to push beyond our limits. Whatever awaits us out there, it's clear they value these qualities. President Rodriguez called for order as the council's debate intensified. The decision they faced would change human history forever. Accept the challenge and risk everything on humanity's worthiness, or remain safely in their cosmic cradle, always wondering what might have been. As the arguments raged around her, Sarah's eyes remained fixed on the shifting quantum patterns. Somewhere in those complex dancing lights lay humanity's future, if they dared to grasp it. The Helios hung in low Earth orbit like a silver arrow pointed at the stars. Its quantum drive core pulsed with a soft blue light, ready to carry humanity further than they'd ever ventured before. Inside, the chosen crew of 15 represented the finest minds Earth had to offer, each selected not just for their expertise, but for their ability to face the unknown. Captain Maya Patel stood at the bridge's observation window, watching Earth rotate slowly beneath them. 20 years in the United Earth Fleet hadn't prepared her for this moment. No one was prepared for this. Final systems check complete, Captain, reported Dr. Victor Rhodes from his station. The quantum physicist's fingers danced across his holographic interface, monitoring the drive's stability. The signal's quantum signature is holding steady. Whatever's out there, it's still waiting for us. Maya nodded, turning to face her bridge crew. Status reports, all stations. Engineering reads green, came the voice of Chief Engineer Kai Chen. Quantum core is stable, conventional drives standing by. We're as ready as we'll ever be. Life support optimal, added Dr. Isabella Martinez, the ship's chief medical officer and sonobiologist. Crew health at peak levels, though I still have concerns about the potential effects of quantum travel on human physiology. Noted, Doctor, Maya replied. But we've run every simulation possible. Sometimes you have to take the leap. The ship's AI, Araya, manifested as a subtle blue glow in the bridge's central holographic display. Captain, I'm detecting unusual quantum fluctuations in the signal. The pattern is changing again. Dr. Sarah Chen, now serving as the mission's lead scientist, hurried to her station. Araya is right. The signal, it's becoming clearer, almost like it knows we're ready. Maya felt a chill run down her spine. The idea that something out there was watching them, evaluating them, still unsettled her. But humanity hadn't come this far by letting fear hold them back. All hands, she announced shipwide. This is the captain. In a few moments, we'll activate the quantum drive and attempt to follow the path laid out for us. We don't know what awaits us out there. We don't know why we were chosen. But we know this. Throughout human history, every great discovery, every breakthrough, came because someone was willing to take that first step into the unknown. She paused, letting her words sink in. Each of you volunteered for this mission, knowing the risks. Whatever happens next, know that you've already proven humanity's courage just by being here. Stand by for quantum drive activation. The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, each focused on their tasks. The quantum drive's hum deepened, resonating through the ship's structure. Signal locked, Sarah reported. Coordinates aligned. The path is stabilizing. It's as if it's reaching out to us. Araya, Maya commanded, begin quantum drive sequence. Sequence initiated. The AI responded. Captain, I'm detecting an unexpected harmonic in the quantum field. The signal appears to be synchronizing with our drive frequency. Sarah's eyes widened as she studied her readings. This confirms it. They're not just watching us. They're helping us. The signal is actively stabilizing the quantum corridor we're about to create. But why? Dr. Rhodes questioned. Why give us this technology, this opportunity? We're about to find out, Maya replied. All hands, secure for quantum transition. Araya, execute jump in 10 seconds. The countdown seemed to stretch forever. Maya thought of Earth below them, of humanity's long journey from cave-dwelling primates to star travelers. Whatever waited for them out there had chosen humanity for a reason. They were about to discover if they'd made the right choice. Quantum transition in 3, 2, 1. The universe seemed to fold in on itself. Reality stretched and compressed in ways human minds weren't meant to process. Through it all, the signal guided them, its quantum signature acting like a lighthouse in a storm of impossible physics. When reality reasserted itself, the Earth was gone. In its place, an alien star burned orange against the void, and something massive waited in orbit around it, something that was definitely not natural. Position confirmed, Araya announced. We've traveled 47 light-years in 3.2 minutes. My God, Sarah whispered, staring at her readings. The structure ahead, it's the size of a small moon. And it's active. We're receiving a new transmission. The bridge speakers crackled with a voice that seemed to bypass their translation software, arriving directly in their minds. Humanity has taken the first step. Now prove your worth. The trials begin. Maya gripped her command chair as the massive structure before them began to transform, its surface shifting like liquid metal. All hands to stations, she ordered. Whatever these trials are, we're about to face them, and we will not fail. The structure continued its metamorphosis, revealing what appeared to be an entrance large enough for the Helios to pass through. The signal that had led them across the stars now pulsed from within, calling them forward. Humanity's greatest test was about to begin. The Helios drifted toward the massive structure, its quantum drive humming quietly in standby mode. The alien construct before them defied conventional physics, its surface continuously shifting like mercury, while maintaining perfect structural integrity. Analysis, Dr. Chen. Captain Maya Patel requested, her eyes fixed on the approaching monolith. Sarah's fingers flew across her console. The structure's composed of materials we can't even identify. Energy readings are off the charts, but they're contained, directed. This isn't just a building. It's a machine. A test facility. The alien voice resonated through their minds again. 3 trials await. Each will test a different aspect of your species' potential. Success grants passage to the next. Failure means rejection. Dr. Victor Rhodes monitored the quantum fluctuations surrounding them. Captain, the structure is generating quantum fields similar to our drive's signature. Whatever built this, they mastered quantum manipulation eons ago. First trial begins, the voice announced. The space before them shimmered, and a massive holographic display materialized, showing what appeared to be a star system in crisis. Save them. The display showed a civilization's homeworld orbiting a dying star. Complex equations and data streams surrounded the simulation, describing the star's decay and its inevitable collapse. It's a test of our scientific understanding, Sarah realized, already analyzing the data. The star's core is destabilizing. We need to prevent a supernova that would destroy the civilization. Maya turned to her crew. How long do we have? In the simulation, about 30 minutes before total collapse, Victor replied. They're testing our ability to solve problems under pressure. The bridge crew worked frantically, applying their combined knowledge to the crisis. The simulation was incredibly detailed, accounting for every variable, every possible approach. Traditional methods won't work, Sarah announced. We can't evacuate in time, can't stabilize the core with known techniques. We need to think differently. Kai Chen, the chief engineer, suddenly straightened at his station. The quantum drive, the principles we use to travel here, what if we applied them to the star's core? Sarah's eyes widened. A quantum stabilization field. That's brilliant. We could use the civilization's own technology, combined with quantum mechanics, to create a sustainable fusion reaction. The crew implemented their solution in the simulation, watching as their theoretical quantum field wrapped around the star's core, stabilizing its fusion reaction. The star's output steadied, its death throes subsiding. First trial completed. The alien voice announced. Creativity and cooperation observed. Second trial begins. The holographic display shifted, now showing what appeared to be a first contact scenario. Two species, clearly on the brink of war, their fleets facing off across a contested system. Prevent conflict. Preserve both species. Maya leaned forward. A diplomatic challenge. They're testing our ability to understand and mediate between different perspectives. Dr. Isabella Martinez, whose background included xenoanthropology, stepped forward. The species' physiologies are radically different. One evolved from aquatic predators, the other from arboreal herbivores. Their entire worldviews would be fundamentally opposed. The crew studied the complex cultural and biological data provided about both species. The simulation responded to their every attempt at communication and mediation, the alien civilizations reacting with startling realism. Look at their resource distribution, Kai pointed out. The conflict isn't just cultural. They're fighting over specific elements both species need for survival, but in different forms, Sarah added, examining the chemical compositions. The elements they're fighting over, they're abundant in different areas of their respective territories. They just can't process them in their natural states. Maya saw the solution forming. We can show them how to synthesize what they need from available materials. Turn competition into cooperation. They'd need each other's scientific knowledge to make it work. The crew carefully crafted their approach, using their understanding of biology, chemistry, and diplomacy to forge a solution that would benefit both species. The simulation showed the fleet standing down, the beginnings of cooperation taking root. Second trial completed. Understanding and wisdom observed. Final trial commences. The holographic display disappeared entirely. Instead, the structure before them began to change, opening like a massive flower to reveal what appeared to be a gateway of pure energy. The final trial cannot be simulated, the voice explained. You must choose. Through this gateway lies knowledge, the combined wisdom of 1,000 civilizations who came before. But accessing it requires sacrifice. One volunteer must connect directly with the repository. Their mind will be forever altered. They will gain understanding beyond human comprehension, but will never again be fully human. The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. The ultimate test wasn't of their intelligence or diplomacy, but of their values, their courage, and their willingness to sacrifice for knowledge. Maya stood from her command chair. I'll do it. Captain. No, Sarah protested. We need you to command the ship, to lead humanity into whatever comes next. That's exactly why it has to be me, Maya replied. A leader doesn't ask others to take risks they won't face themselves. Besides, the choice itself is part of the test. They're watching to see if we understand the true price of advancement. The alien voice seemed to carry a note of approval. Choose wisely. The fate of your species rests on this decision. The gateway pulsed, waiting for humanity's answer. Before Captain Maya Patel could step toward the gateway, Dr. Sarah Chen moved to block her path. Wait, she said, her voice steady despite the tension crackling through the bridge. There's something we're missing. The gateway pulsed with otherworldly energy, its surface rippling like liquid starlight. Sarah turned to face the invisible presence that had been testing them. The first two trials weren't just about solving problems. They were about finding alternatives to sacrifice. Maya paused, realization dawning in her eyes. Sarah continued, addressing both her captain and their unseen observers. In the first trial, we didn't accept the death of a star or the loss of a civilization. We found a way to save both. In the second, we refused to accept that either species had to lose. We found a path to mutual benefit. The alien voice resonated through their minds, carrying a new tone, something almost like curiosity. You believe this final trial has another solution. "I believe that's what you're really testing," Sarah replied. "Not our willingness to sacrifice, but our ability to question the terms of the sacrifice itself. You want to know if we can think beyond the obvious choice." Dr. Victor Rhodes straightened at his station, his fingers flying across his console. "The quantum signatures, they're changing. The gateway isn't just a doorway, it's a quantum computing matrix. The knowledge could be accessed without biological integration. But the power requirements would be enormous." Kai Chen added from engineering, "More than the Helios could generate. Unless—" Sarah's eyes lit up with sudden understanding. She turned to Araya's holographic presence. "The quantum drive. When we made the jump here, the signal didn't just guide us. It enhanced our drive's capabilities. We can use that same principle here." Maya nodded slowly. "A technological solution instead of a biological sacrifice. But would it work?" The bridge crew moved with renewed purpose, each contributing their expertise to this alternative approach. Victor and Kai worked to modify the quantum drive's output, while Sarah and Araya calculated the precise frequencies needed to interface with the alien repository. "The gateway's quantum structure is responding," Araya reported, establishing preliminary connection. The alien voice spoke again, but now it carried an unmistakable note of approval. "You continue to surprise. Throughout the ages, countless species have faced these trials. Most failed the early challenges. Of those who reached this point, all accepted the necessity of sacrifice. None questioned the premise itself." The gateway's energy began to shift, its pattern aligning with the Helios's modified quantum field. Data started flowing into the ship's systems, but in a controlled, measured way that their computers could process safely. "This was the true test," the voice continued. "Not your intelligence, which was proven in the first trial. Not your wisdom, which was demonstrated in the second. But your ability to transcend the limitations of presented choices, to find another way." Sarah watched the data streaming into their systems, her expression a mix of awe and vindication. "You wanted to see if we would blindly accept authority, even the authority of an advanced civilization." "Indeed," the voice confirmed. "True advancement requires more than obedience to existing paradigms. The species that flourish are those who can respect knowledge while daring to question it. Those who can honor tradition while imagining new possibilities." Captain Maya smiled. "It's what humans do best. We've spent our entire history asking what if and why not." The flow of data continued, but now images began forming in the holographic displays around them. They showed other civilizations, other worlds, a vast tapestry of life and knowledge spanning the galaxy. "What you receive now is not merely scientific knowledge," the voice explained. "It is a key, an invitation to join a community of species who have proven themselves ready for a larger role in the galaxy. Each found their own path through the trials. Each demonstrated their unique worth." The images shifted to show gathering places, great councils where different species met and shared their knowledge. "There are challenges ahead greater than any single civilization can face alone. The galaxy needs diversity of thought, of approach, of perspective." Maya looked at her crew, seeing the same wonder and determination reflected in their faces that she felt in her own heart. "Whatever these challenges are, humanity is ready to do its part." "Yes," the voice agreed. "You have proven that. But first, you must return home and prepare your people for what is to come. The knowledge you carry will help ease your world's transition into the galactic community. Use it wisely." The gateway began to close, its purpose fulfilled. But before it sealed completely, the voice spoke one final time. "Remember this day. Remember that it was not merely your courage that opened the door to the stars, but your willingness to question, to imagine, to find another way. That is humanity's true strength, and that is why you were chosen." The return journey to Earth felt different. The Helios's quantum drive hummed with new efficiency, enhanced by the knowledge they'd gained. But it wasn't just the ship that had changed. Every member of the crew felt the weight of what they'd discovered, of what it meant for humanity's future. Captain Maya Patel stood at her familiar spot by the bridge's observation window, but her eyes now saw beyond the visible spectrum, enhanced by the technological gifts they'd received. The quantum data downloaded from the repository had already begun integrating with their systems, offering glimpses of possibilities that would revolutionize human civilization. How do we even begin to explain this to Earth? Dr. Isabella Martinez wondered aloud, reviewing the medical applications alone. The advancements in here, they'll change everything. Carefully, Sarah Chen replied, not looking up from her station where she and ARIA were still processing the vast library of information. The voice was right. This knowledge isn't just a gift, it's a responsibility. We need to help Earth adapt gradually. Dr. Victor Rhodes nodded, his quantum displays showing equations that would have seemed like magic just days ago. Some of this technology, if implemented too quickly or without proper understanding, could be devastating. We need to be strategic. That's part of why we were chosen, Maya said, turning to face her crew. Not just because we could solve the trials, but because we understood the implications of power. Every solution we found emphasized cooperation, understanding, and careful consideration of consequences. Kai Chen's voice came through from engineering, where he was studying the repository's data on advanced propulsion systems. Captain, according to these specs, we could modify the quantum drive to get us home in less than an hour. Should I proceed? Maya smiled. Even now, her crew was thinking ahead, adapting, pushing boundaries while remaining cautious. Do it, Chief. The sooner we get back, the sooner we can begin preparing Earth for what's coming. As Kai worked on the drive modifications, the rest of the crew continued. Look at this, Sarah called out, projecting a star chart that showed dozens of civilizations at various stages of development. We're not just joining a community, we're joining at a crucial time. These patterns suggest something big is coming, something that requires cooperation on a galactic scale. Aria's holographic form flickered with new complexity as she processed the information. The repository contains multiple references to cyclical events affecting the galaxy. The next convergence is estimated within the next century. A test bigger than the trials, Maya mused. That's why they're gathering species now, building a network of civilizations that can work together. The modified quantum drive engaged, folding space in ways they now partially understood. Earth appeared before them, blue and beautiful, and somehow both smaller and more precious than when they'd left. Multiple incoming transmissions, Aria announced. Earth has been busy during our absence. The messages streamed in. In the mere days they'd been gone, the quantum signal had triggered changes across human civilization. New innovations had sparked, as if humanity's collective consciousness had been subtly prepared for what was to come. Scientists worldwide reported breakthroughs in various fields. Artists spoke of visions of impossible worlds, and children dreamed of stars in ways they never had before. They were preparing us all along, Sarah realized. The signal wasn't just a test, it was a primer, getting humanity ready for a transformation that was always meant to happen. Maya addressed her crew one final time before they began their descent. What we've achieved here goes beyond first contact or technological advancement. We've proven that humanity's greatest strength isn't our intelligence or our determination, though those matter. It's our ability to imagine beyond limitations, to question assumptions, and to find paths that others didn't think to look for. She paused, looking at each crew member in turn. The challenges ahead will test us in ways we can't yet imagine. But that's nothing new for humanity. We've always faced the unknown with courage and creativity. Now we'll do it on a galactic scale. The Helios descended through Earth's atmosphere, its hull glowing with the heat of re-entry. Below them, humanity waited, unknowingly poised on the brink of their greatest adventure. They carried with them not just knowledge and technology, but a profound truth, that in a universe of infinite possibilities, the species that thrived were those who dared to imagine alternatives, to question the given path, and to believe in their ability to forge new ways forward. The repository's final gift hadn't been the technology or the invitation to join the galactic community. It had been the confirmation of what humanity had always suspected, that their tendency to question, to imagine, to defy apparent limitations wasn't a quirk of their species, but their greatest strength. And in the challenges to come, that strength would prove more valuable than